Hello everybody, welcome to the fabulous new launch of our two Red Robins collection. Now this is signed, sealed, delivered, and I know you're all singing it. I know you all are, because every time it's said in the office, I also do the same thing. So this is got a couple of cute characters. Now look what we have here. We've got our fabulous little fur babies and of course these cute little cats. Now I'm going to show you a little top tip in the demo of how I've actually decoupaged this, because can I turn that? Are we going to be able to? There we go. Look at this. I know they're facing away from us, so we haven't got the characters' faces, but just look how they've actually been designed. We've got fabulous cut pieces in here. So I've domed out to make them look, they're really full 3D. So you actually get two little characters, but I've made it that we've got the twins, okay? And again, just adorable characters. Who doesn't love our fur babies? And then, moving on from that one, oh, I love this. She's just majestic. There's something about an owl that just makes, they're just incredible animals, aren't they? Now, you're getting a matte layer with the barn owl, but look at the detail that they've gone into with the cut, with all the cuts here. Okay, there's so much detail, but look, having all those snip lines, look at the detail we can go into adding all the decoupage. Just phenomenal amount of detail in this one, and I love the colourway. Now I do know, adding on to this one, on the web, there's a couple of little ones that you need to keep a lookout for, and they are stunning also. So that's our lovely little owl, owly friend. And then our lovely owl needs somewhere to roost, perch. Do owls roost? Spy. Yes. Andrew's just said spy. They do spy a little bit, don't they? They get tucked in somewhere, don't they? But they disappear. So maybe, given a barn owl, this could be the upper top part of a barn, old rundown barn that's got that old window in there. Obviously, it's all just wood, only just hanging together, but it's a super one for building up and giving perspective. And as usual, we have got the nested ones. And then, as you can see on this one, we've got an extra cut. So it cuts in the aperture. So it looks like you could layer these up and you can actually have the owl within the aperture. Okay, so that's the lovely window. Then we've got, now this reminds me very much of some of the images that I see, or some of the places that I visit in the Peak District. A very old cobblestone walkway. Again, there's lots that you can do with this. This could become a stone wall that I'll show you soon. Again, nested, lots of different sizes and variations, adding in the difference of aspect to your projects. Then we've got the cottage. Now, those are the white cuts. Again, it's nested. So you can see, you can go from some of these being the actual card blanks themselves to this teeny weeny one that'll be right back in the background, sat out the way, that you can just spy, just there, sat out the way, just giving you that perspective to your project. But look how beautiful it is. I just love this. I've cut into this quite a lot and done layers of decoupage because it is just beautiful. So it's very much what I think is a chocolate box cottage, this one. We've got our beautiful tulips, or they could be poppies, which way. Then we've got all the foliage growing on here, and it's just idyllic. One of those, it's stereotypical. You can absolutely think you can see that anywhere within the English countryside. It's stunning. And again, look at all the detail. Lost no detail in the teeny weeny one. Still got that beautiful flash of colour in it all the way. Now, can you think what this could be? Is it a door? Could it be a door? Could it be a door? It could be a pillar to a gateway, maybe. Now, I've got to say that I am very sad that we don't see very many of these anymore within our lovely villages and things. And it used to be that they were in every village, in several places within a village. And I love that now sometimes villagers change these into little libraries, or they fill them with plants, etc. So this is, are you ready? Our phone box. Isn't it adorable? Very, very old-fashioned, lovely, quintessential phone box that goes beautifully with our chocolate box cottage. Isn't that just adorable? And again, right down to the tiniest little one that's on here. I must admit, I am very tempted to ask if we can have it in blue as well for a certain particular, you know what I mean, you know which one I'm talking about, don't you? The blue aspect. So again, just stunning, absolutely stunning. Lots of detail, lots of opportunity to cut into this and make them much more 3D and decoupaged. So those are the boards, but this is the one that I've put together for us. Here we go. So this is going with a backing paper, and then I've just built the scene up from there. I've put all the decoupage into the lovely little animals. So here we have a lovely scene. So this is the pathway. It isn't a pathway anymore, it's a brick wall. Here's that lovely telephone box. Lots of layers. I've got 3 layers on here. I've got the lovely little kitten and the mummy cat. Now the lovely little kitten has gone up onto the wall and he's thinking about going up onto the top of this phone box, and the mummy cat down here is going, just a minute, I don't think so. So he's getting a little bit of a telling off, and he's almost curled. You can know when cats like really crouch down to spring up. And then the rest of this wall here, all these elements are the pathway. So I've really chopped into this to build up the other grounding elements. And then look at the chocolate box cottage. Isn't that stunning? So I've gone with 1 layer, 2, and then I've cut off the 2 sections and gone with the roof. I could have done an awful lot more with this particular one and layered it up. I could cut in and do the windows as well quite easily, or this piece in the top. It is spectacular, just beautiful, beautiful artwork. So going from this, whenever we're working with something like this, we then need the scenes, don't we? We need to put them into something. I know with 2 Red Robins, we like to build the standalone ones, but when you've got something like the lovely cottage, I think we need somewhere to sit the cottage into. Now, our fabulous graphics have done some scenes for us. Now, I love this, that we've got this lovely foreground going on here, that we've got the tree, wandering path, but because we've got it going out into the distance, all those nested shapes that we've got, we can really use that to our advantage now and put the little chocolate box cottage in the background at the end. It builds up that perspective. So the background, the middle ground and the foreground. So that's our first one we can work with. The second one, this is really sweet because again, we can do this with the owl, and we could have it that it's the end of a lane with a pillar box. We could have the wall along here and the 2 cats sitting talking, or we could have the little cats because they're in perspective in the background, and we've got the owl in the foreground. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then finally, I love this one. So this is an old brick wall. Now I'm going to turn those 2 out the way so you can actually so you can see where I'm going with this. So to start off with, we've got the brick wall, and there's lots of things happening in here. We've got a lot of shading going on, but we've got all these little bits of grasses, and really, I don't think it really matters which way round. We've not got a right way or a wrong way aspect with this. And then let's bring in our lovely, so, okay, this is what it looks like when it's cut twice. So we've got the aperture. Don't want those ones, I want this one. So I want the bigger one now. Not cut the aperture out of this one. We have got the die that does this, but I'm just going to quickly snip into this and do this myself. Okay. Which you can do with everything. If you wanted to, you can make this a lot more 3D, by snipping into the pieces of wood as well and bringing out all of that definition. So a little bit of a wobbly line around here. I'm just following the line of that lovely piece of wood. There we go. That's what I wanted. And I'm going to go with a little one as well, because these are quite sweet. So before I do anything else, I'm going to mount the little one with some foam tape, like this. So let's stick this together and put this in situ in this wall. So for me, this is going to be a window within the side of a barn, but I've got two windows going on here. I've got a teeny weeny one and I've got this really nice big deep window, which I suppose really you do find in some buildings, especially the older buildings. There's a bit of an oddity, isn't there? Sometimes you'll find that you've got a big window and a little window and you think, well, why is that being put in? Why is that extra? You see the side of a building that's been pulled down and the remnants of what was left behind. Okay, so now I'm going to mount this one up. Now I've done it, I've got a double layer of tape on this side. That goes on there. Oops. Like so. So I'm going to have it a bit like this. Okay. And then I'm going to get this beautiful owl. Just push that to one side. Generally, I always go with 3. Okay. That's my rule of thumb. But in this instance, I've let myself go a little bit further with this just because of the detail that you can cut into this. So the first thing I'm going to cut away are his leg. Okay, so let's make a little row. Now the next one, I'm going to snip into here. And because of all the detail the graphics have put into this, it's so easy with all these pips to actually cut all these layers into this. So that would be my 3. But that really isn't enough detail in this owl at all. So I'm going to start here. And let's snip like this. A little bit round there. Okay. So now, I started off with the 3. Now I've gone with the 4. But do I want to change that a little bit? No, I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to go across like this because the owl itself, like I say, has got so much fabulous detail to allow us to do an awful lot of building up with this. So let's shape his beautiful head. And again, but down here, I'm kind of doing like a tuck and fold thing because I think I'm going to curve the head. But again, where the feathers are, I'm doing this tuck and fold effect because it really brings out that texture of what there would be. Look at the difference it makes. And again, and there's so many cuts and detail lines in this that allows you to do this. Even lift up some of the feathers. Like that. And then finally, him as a whole. So I'm only putting tape. Don't want to squash him because I put all that detail in there. So he is adorable. Look at him. And then again, so that's 3rd layer. There we have 4th. And then finally, when I did cut round his head, his beautiful face, I came away from a little bit. You would be tempted probably to go into this detail line here, around here. Doing that, it's making it a really sharp finish. So I decided to come away from it into the next layer down. And I've tailored off and used just one of those feathers. So now when I pop that on there, isn't he just, look at how much detail you can actually add to him by bending and pinching those feathers. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? He is fabulous. So if I just turn him around like that, he's lovely, isn't he? And now you can see all that detail. Just by pinching and folding on those cut lines, he's adorable. So he is now going to go in his little house. So let's bring in the window. Okay. Oops. I'll use my tweezers because it keeps my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So now we've got the option of sitting him in that window, like so. Okay. So he's sat there. Or we could tuck his feet right in, so he's nestled right down in there like that. Okay, so his head's within there. And we've put all of that detail. Now, doesn't that just look adorable? Now, that on its own, on a simple card, just like this, with the other window, really makes a difference. It's fabulous. Or you could have one of his little friends, again, do all the layers and the decoupage, so he could be just sat just like this across the frame, okay? So aren't they lovely? So using those different perspectives of the windows, you can build up quite a lovely scene as if it would have been a really old stone barn. So that's our lovely owl. I'm going to keep that to one side on our window. So shall we change it up a little bit? Let's move to the scenes. And first of all, I think this is just wonderful. Now, bring in this chocolate box cottage. So let's situate, where are we going to situate it? Let's put it there. But you've got lots of options here. So that could be coming out the front door, that's our path. Or let's bring it down here and have something going on in the background. Or even have it like so the tree is growing behind it. So you've got lots of ways of using this. Now, I've cut into this quite a lot, and I've gone up and around the foliage, around said, it could be tulips or they could be poppies, and I go all the way around, and I've got my scissors at a 45-degree angle. As you can see, my scissors aren't going like that straight up, okay? And I'm actually moving the cardstock opposed to my scissors. And that way, when you're doing that with your actual cuts, you don't see the white. Okay, it's almost like you're using a die to do the cutting because you don't see the white because it's cutting the actual cardstock at that scissor angle. Okay, so let's go all the way around here like this. And you can do with this with pretty much everything. But again, I'm moving the cardstock and not the scissors. Right, so that's a little bit that we can chuck away. And now, just by cutting that away, adding that layer on there, it does make a real difference. So, I'm going to put a little bit of tape on here, but I'm going to put a few layers on this side because I want to create that shape. I want to create that shadow to make it see that it's an actual decoupage layer, that it's stood away from the first one. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm not going to take this tape off of here because this is just to stop it getting squashed. But you've probably heard me tell you that before. So take that one away because I want to secure that in place. That. And lay this up on top. And I've only got one layer here, and I'm going to just put a bend in there like that. And lay that down. And now you can really see the difference with the decoupage. I hope you can. that there's a difference in the layers, and you've definitely got a real substantial shadow here. So let's pop this chocolate box cottage, there we go, on there. We have got this stone walkway, but it doesn't have to be a walkway. Okay, let's cut some of these elements. Okay. Like this, and then cut into here, like this, and I'm not following any particular lines. So we've got stone, actual pieces of stone, walls. It's not just a walkway, okay? And even if you turn it on its side, like so, we've got something going off into the distance now, okay? So that's our tree, our cottage. We've got a stone walkway. We've used our owl. And then something, like I've said, we don't see very much of anymore. Look at this this phone box. So the phone box is right next to the tree. We can have it actually off of the scene if we wanted to. That's on the pathway, at the end of that path, building that scene. And then I want to show you the cuts of this cat. So as I tell you on a regular basis, I always do 3 decoupage cuts. So I always have a whole one. Now, looking at him, when he's sat up, you can really see on this, the artwork, that he's got a definition of his back here and his shoulders here. So that's exactly where I'm going to cut. And there are snip pieces there. It's just going to snip across. So that is the first layer. That is going on there. And then the second one, I'm going to come down another, almost like a little lump, let's say. Not a very nice way to talk about it, is it? And then for this one, I'm going to put 2 layers of tape. And this one, I'm going to go for 1. But I'm also going to use a little bit of wet glue. So let's do a little bit of shaping on our beautiful cat. Like this. So I've put that glue where he's actually going to still be attached. Like so. Just give it a really good pinch. Okay. And then the next one, I doubled this one up, if you remember, around that edge. And that is then going to sit on top. But again, I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue on those 2 pieces of his tail, then pinch them together too. Because it gives you a lovely seam. You've still got all of the definition on him, and you've still decoupaged him and put all the layers in there, look. But because we've actually glued him in place, it's a seamless blend on the back. So now we can bring our lovely scene back in, and our fabulous little cat. And he's going to be sat. Maybe there's something in that tree making some noise, and he's looking at the bird. But we've created that idyllic chocolate box scene without very much effort at all. Isn't it lovely? So I want to see all of your makes and inspiration that you come up with all of this. Pop across to our Facebook page and leave all of your makes and ideas on there. We really do love to see everything that you create. Any of the tools and things that you've seen me using, such as my glues, and especially if you haven't got them, you need to get them. The little pink glue applicators, they're all on Highlight Craft website, and they are phenomenal. And if you want the collection, that's exactly where you're going to find it, over on highlightcrafts.com. So we'll hopefully see you all again soon, and you take care. Bye.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button, subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all of our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.